Imagine coming home to find your own house locked against you. Now imagine the people holding the keys are your father and stepmother. The metal scraped against the lock once, twice. Refusing to turn. Refusing to let me in. It was as if the house itself was rejecting me, the home I had lived in for 12 years. A cold wind crawled up my spine as I stood there, a stranger at my own front door. I called my dad. Dad, what's going on? His voice came through the phone, calm. Too calm. It sounded practiced, rehearsed. Olivia, sweetheart, this decision, it's better for you. You'll understand soon. And then her voice. Emily, my stepmother, chiming in from behind him, her tone syrupy and gentle. You'll be better off, Liv. Really. That was the moment something inside me didn't break, but simply switched off. Not shattered. Just clicked into a new cold place. My name is Olivia Hart. I'm 34, a corporate project manager, a professional overthinker, and apparently the last person on earth to know what my own family was doing behind my back. My dad raised me after my mom died. Emily came into the picture when I was 19. I thought we were a family. I thought loyalty was a bond that meant something. But standing on my own porch, locked out of my own house, their voices in my ear echoing like a final verdict, I felt something new settle in my chest. It wasn't sadness. It was clarity. I sat down on the porch steps slowly, calmly. Then I texted my lawyer. They took the bait. File everything. The screen blinked. My lawyer replied, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" I looked at the locked door, the door to my stolen home, and whispered more than ever. People think betrayals happen in a single, dramatic moment. But mine started quietly, dripping into my life like a leaking faucet I kept ignoring. It began 6 months ago. My dad and Emily started checking in more than usual, asking oddly specific questions about my finances, my savings, my work schedule. Emily even offered to help me reorganize my important documents. I, stupidly, thought it was kindness. I didn't realize it was reconnaissance. Then came the bizarre comments. Liv, you're always so stressed. Maybe you should let us manage a few things for you. Or, you don't need such a big house all by yourself, sweetheart. Downsizing is healthy for the mind. I brushed it off. Families meddle. Mine just meddled, professionally. But the real fracture appeared the night of Emily's 50th birthday dinner. She leaned across the table, smiling sweetly as she said, Olivia, darling, we were thinking. This house is too much responsibility for you. Maybe you should consider something smaller. My jaw tightened. My dad didn't defend me. He just quietly sipped his wine. That night, I noticed drawers slightly moved, folders a little out of place. I knew someone had been searching through my personal files. So, I made a decision. If they wanted to play a game, I would design the board. And now, locked out of my own home, I felt the first spark of satisfaction. Because they had no idea the trap they had just walked into. The weeks leading up to today felt like living beside a silent earthquake. No visible destruction yet, but the ground vibrating constantly beneath my feet. My dad became secretive. He stopped picking up my calls on the first ring. Emily would answer instead, always with the same syrupy line. Oh, sweetheart, he's resting. You know how easily he gets overwhelmed. Overwhelmed? My father ran a construction company for 30 years. The man could outwork a bulldozer. Then the mail started disappearing. Important statements, notifications, gone. When I confronted Emily, she laughed lightly and said, Oh, Liv, maybe you misplaced them. You've been scatterbrained lately. Scatterbrained. Right. But the breaking point came one Sunday morning when I walked into their house unannounced and heard them whispering in the kitchen. Emily, once the papers are finalized, she'll have no choice. Dad, it's for her own good, Emily, she won't fight it. She trusts us too much. My chest tightened. Papers? Finalized? What? They went silent the moment they saw me. Emily smiled too wide. My dad wouldn't meet my eyes. That's when everything clicked. They weren't helping me. They were maneuvering me, steering me, preparing for something big. So, I did what any intelligent woman would do. I stopped reacting. And I started recording. The real betrayal didn't happen in whispers. It happened on a Wednesday morning under a sky so bright it felt mocking. I had taken a half day from work because my dad insisted we needed to talk about something important. His voice sounded urgent, almost shaky. For a moment, I feared he was sick. When I arrived at my house, I froze. A moving truck sat in my driveway. Two strangers, men I had never seen, were carrying out my furniture. My couch, I shouted, running toward them. One of the movers shrugged. Ma'am, we're just following the order. The house has been sold. Sold. The word hit me like a physical slap. Emily stepped outside, sunglasses on, sipping iced coffee like it was a casual summer morning. Oh, Liv, you're early. We didn't think you'd be home until tonight. A nauseating smile curled on her lips. My dad stood behind her, eyes lowered. He couldn't even look at me when she said it. We sold the house for your own good. You weren't using your money wisely, and this was the responsible thing to do. My throat burned. You forged my signature. Emily's smile sharpened. Let's not be dramatic, Olivia. But then she added quietly, a whisper meant to cut deep. You should thank us. The world tilted. Something inside me went still. Dangerously still. They thought I was powerless. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't even touch the door they'd stolen from me. Instead, I stood in my driveway, my emptying driveway, and felt every emotion drain out of my body like water through a cracked glass. What settled in its place wasn't sorrow. It was precision. Emily kept talking, reveling in her own brilliance. You'll stay with us for a while. We already moved some of your things. It's better this way. You're too emotional to handle a mortgage. Too emotional. Funny how that phrase always appears right before someone gets crushed. My dad tried to mumble something, an apology maybe, but I held up a hand. No, don't explain. I understand perfectly now. Because I did. And they had no idea how deeply. They thought they sold my house. They thought I'd fold. They thought I had nothing. But what Emily didn't know is this. I had already suspected them. I had already replaced every important document. I had already transferred the deed. I had already asked my lawyer to prepare fraud charges, elder manipulation reports, financial tampering logs, everything. And today, watching them celebrate their own stupidity, today was the final confirmation I needed. As the movers shut the truck, I quietly texted my lawyer. They took the bait. File everything. Then I looked up at Emily, who was smirking like she'd won a war. She didn't see the smile forming on my lips. The war was just beginning. The next 48 hours were a masterclass in silence, weaponized. I acted exactly how they expected, quiet, stunned, obedient. I stayed in their guest room. I ate dinner at their table. I listened to Emily make condescending comments about fresh starts and irresponsible daughters. Meanwhile, my lawyer and I moved like shadows. Every forged document was already reported. Every bank transaction Emily meddled with was flagged. My father's signatures on the sale contract were proven fake. A handwriting expert confirmed it. By Friday morning, the trap was set. I walked downstairs, calm, still as water. Emily was stirring her coffee, humming a victorious little tune. She didn't look up when she said, Liv, the buyers will finalize payment today. You'll thank us when we use the money responsibly. I sat across from her. Is that so? She finally glanced up, and something in my eyes made her pause. My phone buzzed. A message from my lawyer. Filed. Court accepted emergency injunction. Sheriff notified. Perfect timing. A fist pounded on the door. Emily jumped. Who the hell? The sheriff stepped inside. Badge glinting. Tone firm. Emily Wright. James Hart. You're being served. Fraud. Forgery. Illegal property transfer. You'll need to come with us. Emily's face strained like someone had pulled a plug. My dad whispered, Olivia, what did you do? I leaned back, my voice soft. Exactly what you taught me. Measure twice, cut once. Chaos unfolded in slow motion. Emily lurched to her feet, palms flat on the table. This is a mistake. She's the unstable one. Check her history. Check her finances. The sheriff cut her off. Ma'am, we have evidence. You knowingly executed a fraudulent sale. You'll have a chance to speak with your attorney. My dad looked older than I'd ever seen him. His shoulders slumped, hands shaking. Olivia, you didn't have to go this far. A small, sad smile tugged at my lips. Dad, I didn't go far. You did. His eyes filled with regret, but regret is a currency that means nothing once the damage is done. As they were escorted outside, neighbors began peeking through curtains. Emily hissed my name like a curse, mascara streaking down her cheeks. You ungrateful girl. We were helping you. I asked quietly. By stealing my home? By forging my name? By deciding my life for me? She looked like she wanted to spit venom, but the deputy gently pushed her toward the car. My dad paused before entering the cruiser. Liv, I never wanted to hurt you. A hollow ache flickered through me, but the truth was already carved. You didn't just hurt me, I said softly. You underestimated me. The door shut. The sirens faded. I stood alone in the driveway. My driveway, breathing in the first clean breath in months. But it wasn't over yet. There was still one twist they never saw coming. People think revenge ends with handcuffs. But mine ended in a courtroom bathed in quiet gasps. 3 weeks later, Emily and my dad sat across from me, pale, exhausted, and suddenly very small. Their lawyer tried to argue they acted out of concern. Mine responded with a folder so thick it thudded when she dropped it on the table. Inside were recordings, photos, bank logs, the forged signatures, and my favorite part, the actual deed, showing I still legally owned the house. The judge skimmed through everything, eyebrows lifting higher with every page. Finally, he looked up. Miss Hart, do you wish to pursue full charges? Silence wrapped the room. My father wouldn't look at me. Emily glared daggers, but even her fire was dimming. I took a slow breath. Yes, I said. But not just fraud. The courtroom shifted. I'm also filing a restraining order. And I'm reclaiming every cent taken from me, including the money they planned to profit from. Emily's mouth fell open. My dad whispered, Liv, please. But compassion is something you earn. They hadn't. The hammer came down. Everything they tried to steal was restored to me. Their accounts were frozen, their names flagged, their reputations gone. As I walked out, sunlight hit my face, warm and clean. My phone buzzed. A message from my lawyer. It's done. You're free. I looked back at the courthouse only once. They thought locking me out would break me, I whispered to no one. But it was the key I needed all along. If there's one thing life has taught me, it's this. Blood may be thicker than water, but justice is thicker than both. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gripping stories.